Welcome to the Morning Show podcast.
I'm Coach Tim. I'm here with my brother C-Mo. Thanks for coming to the channel. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and share.
Today's topics. How would you like to, I want to ask you this, Showtime. How do you feel about new parents coming into recreational football for the first time?
Youth football.
Youth football, first time parent.
When I was young, I was a little nervous. And if a coach who coming to coach football for the first time and say they ain't nervous, they lying. I was nervous. I think I was 24, 25 years old. Really 4 years removed from college. Really not that much coaching experience. So me having confidence enough to talk to the parents, I was nervous. But year 5, you get real relaxed and real comfortable. And you want to make sure you hit on the major points of being a parent and what the coach expects from you as being a parent. Because right now, it's kind of outrageous. These parents doing what they want to do, X, Y, and Z.
Tell me a couple things, that the parents that we should expect, that you should expect out of them, they should understand and know. Coming into, bringing their kids to the park.
They come with years of knowledge and years of experience to understand. Really, parents only know what they know, meaning if they have no background in football, then they're clueless. So you have to address a parent where they are. You have some parents that's deep into it. They got uncles, they got brothers, they got cousins that been fluctuated with the game of football. So you don't really have to do too much talking to those parents. But these new parents, you got to break it down like simple math. So that's a good question. And that's me being an experienced coach, knowing how to address the parents and know where they at. Because I asked a couple questions, like, what do you know about the game of football? And they tell me, A, I don't know nothing. Then I understand how to address that parent and be like, okay, you don't know nothing about football, I'm going to help you out. Also, I'm glad you said that too, Atlanta Falcons, they have a football clinic for parents. And they give 101 ABCs of football. And a parent that don't know football, I suggest you go there. And they gonna feed you. That's what the great thing about the state of Georgia. Like, they want us to be great. Falcons, I don't know about them, they ain't great. But in youth football, they want us to be great. So
You're gonna bring somebody on.
Alright, here we go. The last segment, we gonna go to a parent because we want to know, give me a story that's real crazy or something that you witnessed in youth football that you want to tell the story. So I got a few parents I want to bring in to just get a time, 1 minute, 2 minute time to explain to me what they done went through experiencing youth football.
I know one thing when we were talking about these parents don't really know how to feed the kids, man. These parents got some of the worst, when it comes to picking the right food for their children.
That's right. Okay, we live. Let's see if we can get some commentary from us.
Well, until then,
go ahead.
I want to know about this too. My little cousin, they went to Wade Walker Park that weekend.
Yes.
And he had 5 people in his car. And they tried to charge him $60 for a park football game. What's going on? Like, I never heard it in my life.
Man, let me speak on that too. Today's game is going in the dumpsters because now it's a money grab, meaning they're not concerned about the families having other family members, significant other at the game. Supporting. And it is, when they say it takes a village to raise one child, that means everybody in the village need to be there to support their child. But they can't support. Why? You charging each parent, each individual in the car to come watch their cousin, uncle, niece, nephew, whatever it may be, to a football game at 9 and 10 years old. Like, you can't expect a parent, even dual parent, to come out of pocket, because it's gonna really be $100. Because we talking about concession stand, they might have an ice cream booth, whatever the case may be. So it's $100 each Saturday to come watch their loved one. Like, that's crazy to me.
So what you trying to tell me, you think it's some parents that's not being able to bring their kids, their other kids to watch their brother and sister play?
I know that, and that's why I want to bring some of these moms in and let y'all know. Like, the community of youth football, y'all got to hear this. Like, you breaking down what's so important of being a child and supporting your child. Not, or your family member, your cousin, or whoever it may be. Like, that's important. I don't get it why. And the solution is sponsorship. I mean, we talked about sponsorship. Mm-hmm. If these directors, organizers, or whoever put together these tournaments, if y'all get with these sponsors and say, listen, I'm gonna have a weekend tournament, it's gonna cost us $50,000. Can y'all donate to the tournament? That way you don't have to charge the parent. You already get your money up front, and it's really smart investment if you go to an investor. Because the investor, they gonna get a tax write-off. They gonna get that money back. It's a win-win, but I don't think this coach understand how to go about it. Because right now you're hurting the community. I guarantee you, I want to see my nephew play, but I don't want to pay $100 just to go see him play. Like, come on.
I know, but Wade Walker Park is like, it's in my mama community. And my kids went there and swim when Rita Ann played there. There was never no fee. I know it was a long time ago, but you know, it's just kind of confusing to me to understand that my parents wouldn't have been able to afford to come see me play. It's kind of scary.
And then let's talk about it too. When, say like your cousin come over for the weekend, and everybody talking about, man, Chad was good this weekend, and your cousin over here there, and he talked to his auntie, your mama, I want to go see my big cousin Chad play. And then your mama say, well, baby, I can't let you go because I ain't got the money. Like, that's horrible. We didn't have that back in our day. And I knew I looked up to my cousin. I could just imagine my little cousin looking up to me, and my mama telling my little cousin, nah, I can't bring you along.
I was just about to say that because that's how I got the hunger for the game. Going to see my big cousin don't play. You know, that's where I got it from. So I just imagine if I couldn't go see the game.
Yeah.
Where my desire would come from.
And I gotta say that it's crazy how we money grab, man. Everything about money, and nobody really get into why are we doing this? We doing it to make a child's life better. And really it's gonna bless the whole community.
I want to hint back on that first question about the first time parent. Mm-hmm. I had players on my team when I first played football, their parents ain't know how to put the pads on their pants.
That's real. That's absolutely real, because you have to have a segment of practice where you already know this kid never played football before. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an hour, not 5 minutes, an hour to teach this child how to put on the equipment. Especially we talking about concussion protocol. Okay. And that's definitely running moms away, some dads too. I ain't calling y'all sensitive, but some dads running away from football. That's running them away because that concussion is real. Not to mention the hospital, the people in those departments, they don't want you to play football at all. Why? Because they think it's high on your insurance and it costs you. So they quick to tell you, nah, that kid shouldn't play football. Even if it's a sprained ankle. So you take them to the doctor or hospital, they gonna tell you on a sprained shoulder, yeah, you need to end his football career. Because they know the insurance is high and they don't have to deal with that.
And they know the game is dangerous.
Definitely, the game is dangerous. So I get it on both sides, but still I'm telling parents, if you don't know that much about the game of football, ask somebody, ask a coach. He'll tell you the truth. And ask a coach who love your child, not just because he want a hot body on the team. That's another thing about parents bringing their child to the right coach. Some coaches just want kids on the team and they got 25 players on the team just so it can look good. So they have 30. And that child is not even gonna get no playing time. It's like, that's crazy to me. If you put your child in youth football, make sure he's gonna be taught the game football.
Learning.
And he's gonna be able to get on the field. Like, you can only do so much on the sideline.
Facts.
Like, and I get people like, well, it's good to watch the game. Yeah, you watching it up until a certain point in time. Like, let's be real about it. Don't be fake about it. Like I said, a lot of you parents going to a team that's winning, but your child is not winning. And it should be your child first. Parents always put your children first, man. Whatever decision you make, put your child first. You want your child to shine. But we gonna definitely talk about parents who think their child is Emmitt Smith at 5 and 6 years old. Which some of them are dynamic, but don't think they going to the Super Bowl they first year playing youth football. Like your expectation should be it's just going through the process. So that's my spiel on that.
Back to the parenting. And you know, I want to know, like, as of right now, what's the financial situation when it comes to just a first-time parent? What kind of money they looking at? You know, I heard they got to get their own helmets now. Like, we never had to get our own helmet. Like, explain to me, like, you know, like a first-time parent, like the financial situation, what they looking like.
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, coming to most organizations in Metro Atlanta, a helmet gonna cost you $150. And that's only average.
How long the kid get to keep that helmet?
Maybe a year.
Ooh.
Now,
so $150 almost every other year.
$150 almost every year. I would say this: 5 and 6 year olds to 7, you might be able to keep that helmet. When you go from 9 to 12, you might keep one helmet. But after they turn 12, most time out of 10, their head gonna grow. They're gonna be in 8th, 9th grade after 12 years old. So that's $150 for the helmet. Shoulder pad gonna be another $100, and that's on the average. Not to mention they got shoulder pads that worth $200, and your son see little Johnny over here with his Zenith shoulder pad. He gonna say, "Mom, I want them Zenith shoulder pad." At 5 and 6 years old, shoulder pads is not the most important thing. The helmet is. But if your child is worried about shoulder pad, then he worried about getting hit. And he
not hitting nobody.
Yeah, you see, understand me? It's about hitting, not getting hit.
Alright.
And a lot of parents had that, I believe, confused about shoulder pad. And they want to spend $200 and $300 on shoulder pad. Okay, the next thing, football pants. You gonna spend my $60, and that's on the high end.
And these just the practice pants.
We just talking about practice, but I'm telling you about the game pants because this is something new too. Practice pants, $60 to $80. Yeah, they got $100, $200 pants, but this is just practice. I would suggest nobody spend that much money on practice equipment beside the helmet. Exception always the helmet. Okay, football cleats, you gonna run $60. Maybe $80 for football cleats. And that's from age 6 all the way to 12. Practice jersey, you might spend $25, $30. So we talking about a cost altogether, total cost is maybe $400.
And that ain't even include, you ain't saying anything about registration.
Okay, registration. It depends. And a lot of times registration is communicated differently. But if your part have a registration, it's gonna be anywhere from $175 to $300 in the Atlanta area. So we talking about 4 plus 2, that's $600 for the whole season. Now we ain't even talking about the trips. The trips and the extra tournament, preseason tournament.
So you basically telling me a parent is gonna pay $1,000 for a child to play football
For the whole season, from July to December.
That's amazing.
If your child is playing on championship squad, like right now we have the state playoff. Shout out to Alex Benson, B2C, where they can be playing all the way to the end of December.
Okay.
But right next week, they starting the state playoffs from ages 5 all the way to 12. Sometimes they do 14, but I definitely know it's from 5 to 12, state playoffs. And they're gonna be at in different locations around the Metro Atlanta. One location is North DeKalb, Honeysuckle Park, and I don't know the other location. But right now, that's the biggest thing in youth football in Georgia right now, that B2C. And we were talking about that rankings. You say you don't even think the rankings is that big of a deal, which I don't either. But we want to bring in some parents. I don't know how to work my live, so sorry, live. We're gonna get it together one day. But that's what we got going on as far as when you sign your child up for youth football?
$1,000 at the right.
$1,000 at the minimum. $1,000 because it's. I think it's worth it, especially if you get with the right coach and the right organization. It's worth it. Now,
I think you can outprice some kids, man. I think you're gonna be some good kids that ain't gonna be able to afford to play, bro.
No, you definitely is, and that's when it come back to sponsorship. Like, what are we doing where we know inflation is real? We know people are not making $50,000 a year on the average in Atlanta. Like we know it's people in bad situations that don't have it, food stamps, or just one level up from food stamp. They don't have that money. Not to mention more, they got more than 2-3 kids. How can they afford you?
That's what I was just about to say.
I mean,
that's why I saying going into the baseball realm. When we talk about
let's talk about
pricing the kids. It's the same thing.
Okay.
To get into that baseball circuit and go in that county, it's $3,000 and $4,000. You know what I'm saying?
And they coming in the gate $3,000 and $4,000. And we talked about that off camera. What they doing in baseball in Atlanta, they don't want to see minorities in baseball. No. So they know we don't have that type of money to start our 9 and 10-year-olds playing baseball. So we gonna outprice it to where they can't afford to participate.
Yep.
Now in football, when he's saying that, they gonna go in that direction. Right now, we just said $1,000. That's for the whole season though. But in baseball right now, in some of these AAU programs, it start out $2,000, $3,000 in the beginning of the season. And they don't want your child to be a part of it. Your minorities anyway. And y'all know what I mean by that. We're gonna keep it raw and real.
Hey, what I just came up with, new parents, is you better get your money up if you want your kid to be a part of this. Because what I'm hearing today, $1,000 for one child, man. What if you got a cheerleader and 2 children? Like, you paying $3,000 and $4,000 just for your kids to participate. It's
and amazing. You under $50,000 a year?
It's amazing.
I think somebody said something about they taking the loan out or pulling from the 401k.
Jason Haywood, daddy for him to play in that circuit. So you know they stayed in Henry County, and for him to go in Cobb County to play baseball, his dad had to go into that 401k because that's how much it costs. A lot of parents don't even have that, so you know it's the kids they get missed out on. That's why they wonder why so many kids play football. You know, the numbers are so different in baseball now, and that's part of the reason. Yeah. But football about to be the same way we see it.
Exactly. It's on the uptick, and we want to educate y'all youth football coaches. Like, don't starve your kids out. And parents, yeah, don't starve your kids out. Because it's a lot of kids you know too in the neighborhood that really want to play football.
Yes.
And they now working 2-3 jobs. First off, the parent that's working 2-3 jobs really don't have time to trust the coach. Why? Because they're on the clock. So they don't really have time to get to know the coach in the neighborhood. To trust the coach to say, yeah, you can pick my son up. What they call a latchkey kid. As far as when they go from school to home, they have their kids.
Around our neck, yes sir.
Yeah, okay. Now that's very, very important. So your best chance as a youth coach, and I'm giving you game, you gotta catch him at Kroger, Walmart, or at the church or the mosque, and try to bump it to the parent. And I would say the community too would take a village. If y'all know mom been working 2-3 jobs and you know her son is athletic or energetic, try to link him with a coach. And that help too. We got a school teacher here too, an educator. And we talked about how can we blend that coaching and teacher relationship. Because that's very important. And me and him was just talking to one of the teachers about some of these teachers automatically label kid bad just because he might be outspoken. Now, given the fact, just like the educator said, Coach Tim, you don't know what the teacher been dealing with the first day of school till, let's just say, 9 November. They've been dealing with a whole lot, and they have a breaking point to where one little thing the kid do, they go on ham and tell the parent, your child is a horrible kid.
I ain't cutting you off.
No, go ahead, I'm done.
But I'm going back to basically the same thing we're saying. I want to go back to them first time parents again. And I was I played in Gresham Park, and we had McDonald's on Gresham Road. And
Boulder Crest.
No, on Brush Road.
They want on Boulder Creek?
You don't know nothing about that. You too young.
The KFC still on Boulder Creek.
You don't know nothing about that.
So call for the BP.
But I'm just telling you, the thing was, my mom and dad didn't know what to feed. Okay. So I would eat McDonald's and stuff before practice. So, educating the parents on how to feed your kids is a big thing. I see these kids with ramen noodles, like, to do, what I'm saying, to get the real nutrients in your body that you need. Man. Explain to what I'm saying.
I know, and I'm no lad. This is a serious situation. Education is horrible in our community because if you don't know how to nutrition your child for an athletic sport, not just football, like you're doing a disservice as a parent.
That's right.
Like fruits and vegetables. Let me tell you what my grandma used to say, and a lot of grandmas don't say that no more. When you go in the grocery store, you're supposed to go outside, around edges of the grocery store. Everything in the middle is garbage. What their grandparents are really saying is those chemicals that they put in everything and all the foods, it's not good for your child. Especially when you're doing sports.
In 100-degree heat.
In Georgia.
Fact.
You got equipment on. If your team colors is black, you really catching the worst. You got helmet, shoulder pad, football pads on. Then these kids in the country, they coming out here with tights with 100-degree weather, 2 pair of socks on, gloves, and a shield in 100-degree weather on Dorito chips and 9-laters. Like, that's crazy. Again, education has gone down the drain. Coaches, this is for y'all. Ask the child when they come to practice, hey, what you eat for lunch today? In the summertime, did you eat? Because that's a real situation. In the summertime, no school, some of these kids only eat during school year. What you eat before you come to practice? Water. And this is another one. I say 8 glasses of water every day. Football season, 16. I say a gallon of water before you come to football practice. Because you'll pass out and enjoy the heat. And this humidity is really ain't no joke.
Basically what he's saying, parents, is you need to hydrate them kids before you get them electrolytes in them. You gotta hydrate them kids before you bring them out there to that field.
They don't even know what electrolytes is. Education. Like, again, when we got these teachers, we're gonna have a segment with the teachers. Education is a must. What to put in your body before you come to that football field.
Yes. What to drink.
Parents, coaches, next door neighbors, stay on these kids. Now, luckily, I will say this. In Georgia, I haven't hit a lot of fatal incidents where a kid pass out or, worst case scenario, they pass away from an injury or hydration. I think last year was one, and I keep up with it, and it's a site too for coaching. USAcoaching.com, USAfootballcoaching.com, and it tells you statistics of fatal injuries or incidents that happen during the school year, and it's like a community text to let you know, or this area is highly humidity, the heat temperature is way over the danger zone. Like that's what parents too need to get in USA football too, to get that chat to let you know before football practice, this is what you're addressing or this is what you're dealing with.
Today we're gonna close this segment out on. I just want to ask you a couple of questions, Coach Showtime.
Yeah.
Coach Tim, I want to ask you about Coach Munn, and COVID.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about them boys, and what they mean to you, and how did they help your parents on getting UNCP prepared to be out there on the football field, to take the college, how you did.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Munn, Coach Vic, Coach Ramon Mosley, Coach Vic Martin played a huge role in my life, not only coaching me, but mentoring me and being a coach. Because a lot of people don't know, when I did come home from college, they allowed me to be on their coaching staff. And they never did that. They've been coaching me ever since I was 14 years old. So for them to allow me to come and learn the coaching game. I knew football, but I didn't necessarily learn coaching just because I played it. A lot of people got misconstrued. But anyway, Coach Munn, he was the head coach that was stern and strict. and he had the fundamentals down pat, the X's and O's, the drill. We got to talk about that too. He was so meticulous on the drills and how to do the drills right. Coach Vic, he was a defensive coordinator. His defensive schemes, his philosophy was so solid and intact to where he knew offenses like the back of his hand. He knew how to stop each and every offense. If he see the formation offense, he already knew how to attack that offense. He had hang signals. We talking about 12 and 13-year-old going over hang signals in park ball in the early 90s. Like they was more advanced. It was such thing called glacier cleaning. Coach Mon and Vic always went to them. And back then they were charging coaches to come, youth football coaches. Nowadays, you ask a coach to go to a clinic, they gonna say, oh, I don't have $25. When the glacier clinic was like $100, I went to one, I paid $200 to go to a coaching clinic with Coach Mon and Coach Vic. Like, they was really serious about learning the knowledge of how to teach football. And
they help with discipline. That's what I mean by when I was saying with the parents. Yeah. They help you be a better child at home also because you know they taught you a different, you know what I mean, like different structure. Like, then help you with your parents at home. Cause I know with me, with my mama, you know what I'm saying, just me and Judy being in the household, me getting Coach Reggie and them, it was a different stern.
Yeah.
So I know she could always lean back and say, I'm gonna talk to your coaches.
Right, and
like, that's what I mean by that's a good relationship that a parent need to try to worry about and work on.
Yes.
When that's being a first time parent.
Yeah. And let me say that Coach Mon grew up in my neighborhood. And he knew my mom. Coach Vic knew my mom. Linwood Park, Doraville, that's historical black community. That area, it's like old school. Everybody knew everybody. So I couldn't act the fool because Coach Mon knew my mama, Coach Vic knew my mama. So at the end of the day, it wasn't no misbehaving from me and CP. Like, it wasn't that. It wasn't no, oh, I'm going to go home and tell your mama. Because we already knew that. It was understood. Like, my mama knew them coaches. They weren't just a Joe Blow that was on the corner. Nah, they knew. And it was a tradition, family tradition. Like, my big cousins, they went to North Dakota. My uncles went to North Dakota. Like, it was definitely a trust factor to where if I say I'm with Coach Mon and Coach Vic, my mama like, oh, are you good? And that was the case. That goes back to it takes a village to raise a child. Meaning the village got to be solid. Coach Mon and Vic, they was solid individuals. My mom was a God-fearing woman.
To sum it all up, parents, you need to get into have a good relationship with the coach.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell y'all, thanks for coming out today to the Moment Show podcast, and until the next time.
You can find me in the hood. It's all good.